If the title and the thumbnail didn't give away the topic of this video, you would most likely think that I am playing this on a gaming PC. Let's take a moment and admire my skills first before admiring how smooth this game plays on a Raspberry Pi using Lineage OS Android 12. Playing this stunt car game on a Raspberry Pi 2 years ago would be near impossible, but with Raspberry Pi 4, it appears that all the pieces are finally coming together. If you have not heard already, Raspberry Pi OS 64 is now out of the beta phase and it is available for official download, but that is a topic for another day. What you are looking at today is Android 12 on a Raspberry Pi 4, all complete with a working Google Play Store. As you can see, it is a sexy system to look at and a joy to use. I had no crashes at any point, whether during the installation or while running any of the applications that I have tried so far. It is super responsive and moves pretty quickly. As it is the tradition, I always test playing YouTube videos first. I don't see anything that I can complain about other than the fact that I had to click up here and change the resolution. At 1080, I didn't notice any buffering or any frame loss, so that is a pass for me. Browsing the internet is also fast and quite responsive. I know some of you will wonder if Netflix works here. The answer is not really. There are ways of getting it to work. With a little research online, I will not be able to talk about those tools here since YouTube ears don't like to hear those tools. I understand that Amazon Video is not a great alternative, but just so you know, Amazon Video works. Audio works through the audio port as well as Bluetooth audio, and it works very well. I even tested my Logitech USB camera and it performed very well, as you can see here. Now, if all this sounds like something you want to get into, here is how to install Android 12 Lineage OS on your Raspberry Pi. Using a PC, Mac, or a Linux computer, go to raspberrypi.org and download Raspberry Pi Imager. That is if you don't have it already. Next, you will need to head over to constantKang.com and download the latest version of Lineage OS for the Raspberry Pi 4. Once downloaded, go ahead and install Raspberry Pi Imager and insert a microSD card into the computer. Start Raspberry Pi Imager and flash Lineage OS 19 image that you just downloaded. This process will take a few minutes. Once complete, you may get some error messages and a message to format the SD card. Close and cancel that. Do not format the SD card. Pull the microSD card out of the computer and insert it in the Raspberry Pi. Everything in this part is simple. Simply follow and answer all the prompts, and if all goes as planned, this is what you should see. Now, on your computer, we need to download and save bitgaps to a thumb drive, flash drive, or even an external hard drive. We need bitgaps to get Google Play Store to work. You do not need to use a separate computer for that. You can also use the Raspberry Pi to download bitgaps. The link to the file is also available on constantKang.com. Simply follow the link and make sure you get Android 12 version and save it to your flash drive or wherever you want to save it. I am going to check and make sure I have the correct file on my flash drive. Now, all we have to do is force the Raspberry Pi to boot to recovery, and we can do that by going to Settings, System, Gestures, press and hold power button, and enable advanced restart. Last thing we need to do here is press and hold F5 on the keyboard, click restart, and click recover. Now that we are in recovery mode, I'm going to check first and make sure that my USB is mounted. Go to install, select bitgaps ARM6412 as shown here. This may change in the future to a newer release, but you can always find this release in the archive. After that, swipe to confirm flash. This will take up to 1 minute. Once done, go back 2 times and click Settings. Adjust your time zone while you're here. Go back. Click on Wipe to Swipe to factory reset. And reboot the system when prompted. When the system reboots, and since we performed a factory reset, we will have to go through the initial setup once again. Answer all that as prompted, and voila, Google Play Store is installed. Now the sky is the limit. You can have fun with your Pi, download and install whatever your heart desires, but while your heart is getting filled up with joy, please help fill up my heart with joy as well. You can do that by liking the video, sharing and subscribing if not subscribed already. And as always, thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one.